Oh, there goes Maud. Hopefully it doesn't collapse. Oh my God, Maud, go away. Maud's gonna knock my camera over. Beth, how are you? So hold on. Okay, so Brian should come in here, right? Does he request here? Edel, Mary Coughlin. Guys, see those texts I can't see when they keep coming in. Julie, hi. Julie, say hi.
Hi.
Pop your head in there. Do you think? Okay, so I'm just waiting for the BK, the launch in.
When it comes up, it will say he'll request it and then it'll come up and you accept.
Okay, hold on. Gillian Norton, LA. Hello. How are you? Susie. Oh, there you go. You figured it out, guys, right? Love, 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 love. That's, yeah, truly, that's your godmother. Bethy Boo in Colorado. Guys, you should check out Beth's Eco Beauty. Amazing. Picture of healthies. Claire. God bless kids. I know. I mean, how else do we ever figure out, you know, how to do this? It's just unreal. Yeah, I think you got it. You got in. So I'm just waiting for him to come in, right? I don't know, guys. I've never done this before. Rachel, hello. Wave. Hey, yogis. Keep on coming in, coming in, coming in. Keep on coming in. Do you think that's his request there? Or will it just come up as a request?
No. You can, if he comes on, you can press that and look for his name if he's there.
But he requests me, right?
You can do either.
Okay, let's go down. Hey! Sorry. Where are you, Brian? You were there a minute ago. Hang on, guys. He came in on my story there. So hold on, Brian. So hold on. Maybe if I request you. I thought you were...
He direct messaged you. He didn't go onto your story, onto your live.
Okay, so how do I answer him? Hang on, guys. Hang on in there.
He's not on it.
That's sea hair. It is sea hair. Okay, hold on. Brian's there, guys. So hang on. He's meant to request me. So where's that comment gone?
It was in your direct message.
So how do I get
to go out of the live?
Can you guys... I'm afraid to lose the connection now. Hold on. To let my hair... Annie Bracken. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. How else can we get... What if I
You
click...
have to end live.
Will you guys hang there? Then did they return again? I mean,
yeah,
then... Hold on. Wait. I don't really want to end it because then...
Well, then you just have to wait for him to come on.
Love your hair. Oh my. Stop. How's everybody doing? Brian, there we go. Wave. Joined. Okay, Brian. Okay. Invite me in. We did.
You made it. Yep, she got me in. Melissa's very happy too.
Hey, Melissa. Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, listen, thanks. Thank you so much for doing
Have
this,
fun. Enjoy.
guys. I've never done this before, Brian. I've had so many firsts with you. It's so funny. This is another first, you know. So this is good. You're the pro at this, right?
No, 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 no. I just did this for the first time, like a week ago. And I don't, you know, I'm not a pro either. I'm not, when it comes to technology, I am definitely not a pro.
Oh, I bet you're better than me. I mean, this is all just so unreal. I mean, this is the God-like technology, right? Working for us.
I mean, this is a nice way to use technology, that's for sure.
I mean, it's the first time I feel that it's been used properly. Do you know what I mean? It's been used for these reasons. The glasses on, that's the new way to go. How's LA?
Quiet.
Yeah, crazy, right? How are you? How are you doing? Big virtual hug to you. I bet
Thank
you
you.
miss that. I mean, you're a great old hugger for the yogis. I mean, you've got to miss that, right?
You know, I have a host streaming service. So yeah, I've been online for a long time now, but yeah, it's first time to not actually be teaching classes in person. It's you know, personally, um, I'm very, very, very happy
Yeah.
with the pandemic. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm not happy, of course, that people are suffering and people are having tremendous challenges. There's a side of it that I feel is, you know, obviously very, very challenging. And, you know, I'm in that side too. You know, I mean, I had to cancel my April tour, my May tour, my June tour, my entire Europe tour is canceled. Um, and it's affected me tremendously. You know, I've lost all the money that I was going to make to actually support me and my family. So I really understand a lot of the challenges people are going through. Not all of them, because, you know, fortunately for me and my family, our health isn't in jeopardy. Some people are actually dealing with the virus's effect on their body, and you know, I send out my love to those people.
Right.
But but I have been affected by the financial end of this. But putting all that stuff aside, um, you know, I've never really, or in a long time, have not really felt discontented and peaceful that I can remember. I mean, I feel like we all needed a pause, and we're getting it, you know, and I feel like the pause is valuable. If you can push the other stuff aside and just allow yourself to slow down
Mm-hmm.
with the fact that everything's slowing down, you know, you might be able to relax in a way that you haven't been able to relax in a long time. I mean, I'm also able to connect with my family in a much more meaningful way because we're together all day long now, every day. And I know it can be challenging sometimes, but you know, might be the only time on earth that that happens.
Right.
You know, where you're getting this much of your family, and you know, you can suck the juice out of each character in your
Yeah.
family. And you know, the gardening and the long walks, and oh, it's, you know,
Yeah.
there's so much of this that's been amazing, and I do feel grateful.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I do feel somewhere secretly I wished for a pause because it's so frantic. Life is so frenetic and frantic, you know. And then this is giving us this time. It's extraordinary. Yes, the downside is obviously what's happening in the world, you know. But what is, you know, well, first of all, can I ask you a couple of questions just for your yoga Irish family here who just love you so much? You know, to tell them a teeny, let's go back and then we go forward.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
tiny
yeah.
bit. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Emma. um, just tell them a little bit about your early days of your yoga life? Just a little story, or what was it like back then? Beginning, young man, young yogi. What got you into it?
Well, you know, first of all, you all should be thankful you're getting me now and not getting me then, because I was a monster. I had to go through the school of hard knocks and learn my way and figure out what works and what doesn't work, because, the old school mentality was pretty aggressive, and I'm so happy I don't have that anymore. But I had to go through it in order to come out of it. So, going through those old days was important, and it was powerful. I started yoga when I was 15 years old. My father told me that I have to do yoga or he's going to kick me out of the house. So I didn't really have a choice about it. And he ended up kicking me out anyways, but I had already done 6 months of yoga before he kicked me out. So, I already got the bug. And once I got the bug, even once he had kicked me out, I had continued doing it on my own. And, we were very fortunate because David Williams, who was the first person to bring Ashtanga yoga to the entire world outside of India, he's the person who brought Ashtanga yoga to all of us. Happened to be teaching his Ashtanga class on the island of Maui in the state of Hawaii, where I was living.
Mm-hmm.
And so I happened to be in the first Ashtanga class in the entire world outside of India. And that was my beginning. And I feel very fortunate and very grateful to have that beginning. But also back then, Ashtanga yoga was incredibly aggressive and forceful. Yeah. It was basically the American mentality in a yoga practice, It was very goal orientated. It was very competitive. It was very aggressive, and that's why us Americans took to it, because it fit our mentality.
Mm-hmm.
When the truth is, it should have been freeing us from our mentality, but it wasn't. It was actually kind of capitalizing on our mentality. But I don't think that we would have started in any other place, because, we needed something that we could connect to. And then because of our aggressiveness, we really used Ashtanga yoga to destroy ourselves.
Right.
And in destroying ourselves, we realized what we were doing, and that kind of pushed us towards a more mindful and more gentle and more moderate path. And so for that reason, it was all beautiful, even though in the beginning it was very aggressive, it was very painful, it was very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But the end result was powerful and special. And I think that goes for everything, including this pandemic. It's like the phoenix arising from the flames. It's like
absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of benefit that emerges from the challenges and difficulties we're going through. And, as each one of you that are watching can look back over your life and understand that you've all been through a lot of pain and a lot of challenges, but having gone through that has helped you become who you are today. Without going through that, you wouldn't be who you are today. So that stuff was important.
Sure.
So, that means challenges are not bad, that challenges are good, even though they don't always feel good. But if you realize that they're good, then maybe you can look at them in a less negative light and a more positive light. And if you're looking at challenges more positively, then those challenges won't produce stress.
Right.
So it's also a very nice way to look at difficulties in your life, because then those difficulties don't poison you with stress, which seems to be, the largest precursor to most disease.
Sure, absolutely. And do you practice every day, Brian? Do you have your own personal practice, or how does it work for you? Because you're so busy as well, normally busy.
Yeah, well, there's two answers to that question. One answer is, yes, I practice every day, because now my practice has come off the yoga mat.
Yeah.
So I'm practicing right now.
Right.
And that's what has to happen eventually. You know, if you're only doing yoga on your yoga mat, it doesn't help you in your life because you spend most of your life off your yoga mat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So eventually it needs to transcend the yoga mat and permeate your life. You know, that's why they call it yoga practice.
Right.
You know, you're trying to practice something to get so good at it that it's even happening, you know, outside of the class. You know, you're supposed to start becoming less reactive and more accepting to the difficult situations in your life, not just to these difficult yoga poses.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's the first answer. And the second answer is that no, I don't practice physical yoga every day. I have 4 children and 2 wives, you know, an ex-wife and a new wife, and I support 2 families, and I'm very busy. And I try to, and you know, if I'm being honest, I can say, you know, I'm practicing 5 or 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always going to be a situation that's going to stop me from practicing, you know, and part of my practice is accepting that I can't practice that day.
But you've embodied it, so it's just, you know, coming out into your life. That's the whole difference, you know. You're living, breathing it, you know. You could
I
do it the
try,
way
I
you
try
teach.
hard, and I still do practice on the yoga mat in this beautiful yoga room that you guys are witnessing. This is my,
Yeah, I
this,
saw Paramahansa Yogananda there. Oh yeah, there's
yeah,
I love him.
that's Krishnamacharya.
Yeah.
He's the reason all of us are practicing physical yoga. And there's Parsamahansa Yogananda, and that's Buddha right there.
That's
And
beautiful.
this is where I practice 5, 6 days a week.
This is Ojai. In Ojai?
Yeah, this is Southern California. We're up in the mountains in a little village called Ojai, which is a miracle. This place is literally a miracle. I still can't believe it exists.
Wow.
It's very special. It's a little town full of cafes, yoga studios, and art galleries, and organic food. And
Still arty community, is it?
it's like it's like this little liberal mecca.
Mm.
People are so friendly and so open-minded, and it's surrounded by nature and mountains. And yeah, it's like the best of LA without the other stuff, you know?
I find it amazing that you closed your studio a year ago, right? I just find
Yeah,
for you, you must think about this probably, do you? You know, you closed that phenomenal place that you had for, I think I was actually at your last week of classes, I think, yeah?
maybe, yeah.
I was, yeah. And then all the emotion about that. But it's actually, you're probably so glad you didn't have the studio when this happened, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't even thought about it. You know, I'm sure everything would have worked out the same as it is now, but I am very, very happy to be up here. I am teaching at other people's studios up here. And, you know, one of the beautiful things that's come out of this whole thing is the fact that, you know, now I've created an online studio. So now I'm teaching live classes every day at, 5 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
And we are getting a lot of Irish people on there, by the way, as well
Listen,
as,
you've got a big fan base here.
you know, and
You.
it's been wonderful. And after this pandemic's over with, we're going to continue with it. We're going to keep live classes going daily.
I think it's the way to go for so many reasons. There's so many benefits, incredible benefits to teaching live and dailies, virtual, you know.
Yeah, especially for me because I now live far away from all my people. So, you know, it's a way for my people and me to connect and for them to access my classes. It's a way for me to share this yoga with a larger audience. And then, yeah, I mean, if you're from Los Angeles, you know, I mean, there's a lot of detriments towards going to a studio. You know, most of it is the time that it takes because of traffic and all that stuff. And it's stuff you don't have to worry about if you're practicing somewhere at home.
Exactly, and it's cheaper. People don't have parking fees and parking petrol and all of that. I mean, it's incredible, you know. I mean, do you actually see, I mean, what's your take on studios opening again ever in the way that they were? I mean, your classes for your whole life are jam packed. Did you ever teach an empty class ever, or for two people? But I just always remember that they were packed. How can that ever come about, do you think? The yoga life is different. It's going to be different.
Well, at first, my feeling is that, a lot of people that are practicing online are now going to stay online because they realize how convenient it is and how cost effective it is, and how when you're done with class, you feel as good as any live person class,
Exactly.
But
100%.
there is the another side to it, and my wife Melissa made me really aware of it too. And she misses her community. She misses her girlfriends getting together in their hot studio and sweating buckets of sweat and sweating buckets of sweat and just connecting with the community. So I think that, online classes are going to be stronger than ever, and it's never going to go away. But I do think there's a place for the studio too. I think nothing replaces group energy and, connecting with your friends or your community in that way. One of the great things about online is that some girl from New York pointed it out the other day. She was like, Brian, me and my girlfriend from Los Angeles and my other girlfriend from Germany all took your class together at the same time.
Amazing.
Now that's the beauty of online yoga. I mean, her and her two friends from different places on the globe all were together practicing my class, and that's pretty amazing too, So I think there's just beauty in it all, and now we have more choices.
Yeah.
And we have the pandemic to thank for that, and along with a lot of other things that this pandemic's creating, like some clean air on our globe.
Right. I mean, it's going to push the boundaries of how yoga is going to evolve from here out. I mean, I started yoga in my living room at 14 years old from a Jane Fonda book or something like that. And to go to a class was bizarre, was strange for me initially. Then classes, the cult of classes and packed classes, and now it's changed. It's going to change again, right? Into this mixed bag of virtual and I don't know. It's a difficult time for the yogis, in that respect. We do like that contact and the group energy, but it'll return a different way. Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, it will return in a different way, and us yogis need to be able to thrive amidst difficulty. Because if we can't do it, then how would we expect anybody else to do it? And that's what we tell all our students, right? Like they're in these difficult poses, and we ask them to breathe.
Yeah.
And we also ask them to understand that there's a lot of power and potency in going through these challenges, because without challenges, there's no opportunity for any human to evolve and grow. So challenges are important. So again, looking at this challenge in a positive light will keep you happier and less stressed out.
Exactly. And tell them I love your explanation of enlightenment. I just remember in your class one time, really simple stuff but really powerful. Can you tell them that one? What do you feel about the guru and the enlightenment, the word itself?
Well, I don't exactly remember what you're talking about as far as what you heard. I mean, I definitely have talked about enlightenment, and but usually when I talk about enlightenment, I'm trying to help people understand what it means, because some people think that it's esoteric, and it's not. It's so simple and it's so practical, and it's so doable. Like, you're going to walk out of my class, and they're probably going to walk out of your class too, Teresa. They're going to walk out enlightened. Maybe there's greater degrees of enlightenment, but enlightenment's like a muscle. You can start to develop it, and in starting to develop it, you actually have it more than you had it before you started to develop it. And that's what your yoga class, that's what my yoga class is about. It's about developing enlightenment, becoming more and more aware, right? So then you have more and more choices, so you can steer yourself more optimally in a benevolent direction, right? So enlightenment is an English word, and right, so it's simple to understand. En means to do something, enlighten means light. So enlighten means to make light, or to bring light to something, or to shine a light. And the reason is because everybody knows you can't see in the dark. You can only see in the light, right? So the goal of yoga is to see, because it's only when you see how you are that you can stop doing the shit that's hurting you. How do you stop doing the shit that's hurting you if you don't even know you're doing it? Now, those of you watching this that have no clue of what I'm talking about, let's make it really clear for you, because I know this has happened to you. Have you ever looked at yourself naked in the mirror and had a judgmental or critical thought about the way you look?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Irish girls, just the rest of the world, right?
Never.
Never. No Irish girls.
Not in Catholic Ireland. Never. We love our naked bodies.
Yes,
No,
because,
I love this. Go on.
right, because Catholicism doesn't teach us to be judgmental, does it?
No, it's empathy. Right, guys.
Right, so now listen, I know why you look at yourself naked in the mirror and judge and criticize yourself. I've done it too, right? Because, we've been brainwashed by our culture to think that this is beautiful, and if we don't fit the image, then we become self-critical and judgmental. It's understandable why it's there, because we were never taught that we are beautiful.
Right.
But, that's that. It's over with. That's the way we're taught. But the point is this. How many of you look at yourself naked in the mirror and have judgmental or critical thoughts, and then all of a sudden you awaken and say, oh my God, I'm judging and criticizing myself. I couldn't be doing anything in my life more sick and stress producing than self-loathing. Right?
Exactly.
Nobody wakes up and says that, because most people don't even know they're doing it. It's like we walk around all day rolling in a sick mind and nobody knows. And that sick mind is what's poisoning us. Now even modern medicine is telling us that most disease on our body is coming from our sick mind, from stress-inducing thoughts. Right? So we're walking around all day, like, creating these stress-inducing thoughts that are poisoning us, but we don't know, because our school system taught us math, history, and science, but they never taught us the largest factor in our life is the place where our mind dwells. So yoga is asking us to be able to see the type of thoughts you are having, so you can scare yourself away from those thoughts if you feel those thoughts are not benefiting you. Mm-hmm. Right? So you're scaring yourself from malevolence to benevolence.
Right.
Right? That's why they call the yogis in India, they call them seers. S-E-E-R. Right. A yogi is called a seer, because once you see, then you have a choice. Mm-hmm. Then you can ask yourself, does this place my mind's dwelling, does it benefit me? Does it benefit my family? Does it benefit my community? Does it benefit this planet? And if it doesn't benefit this planet, then steer yourself away.
Exactly.
But most people don't have that choice, because they don't know they're doing it. They don't know they're judging and criticizing. They don't know they're having angry thoughts or regretful thoughts or fearful thoughts or sad thoughts. So they don't know where their mind's dwelling, because we're not taught to look at that. Right. And those of you who don't know, every time you have an angry thought, you strengthen anger. Every time you have a fearful thought, you strengthen fear. So not only are you rolling in a sick mind, you're actually strengthening that sick mind. Right. And every time you pull your mind away from that sick mind, you're weakening it. This is universal law. If you give it food, it becomes strong. But if you don't give it food, it starves and dies. So the big question in yoga is, what the fuck are you feeding?
Right.
What are you feeding 24/7, but you don't even know you're feeding it?
Right.
Right? I like to call this killing the enemy.
Mm.
The enemy's not out there. The enemy's in your head. And now you start to recognize the enemy. You pull the food away, the mental energy and unconscious loyalty, and the enemy gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And nobody can do this work for you. You have to do it. There's no guru out there that's going to put their hand on your head and make everything go away.
Mm-mm.
Any guru out there that's worth their salt is going to say, sit on your ass and do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't do it yourself, then you're not going to know how to do it. So, you know, if it comes back, you know, you're not going to be able to get rid of it again because you never did it in the first place. I did it for you. So, you know, basically, you know, you got to do the work. And that's when we start losing people, because a lot of people aren't ready to do the work. And because it's work, it's hard work.
Isn't it? It's a lifelong.
Not only is it lifelong, but the greatest addiction of your life is the place where your mind dwells. And everybody knows how difficult it is to break addictions.
Yeah.
Let alone the greatest addiction of your life. So, but the issue is this: if your goal is health and wellness, if your goal is serenity and contentment, if your goal is peace and enlightenment, then you have no fucking choice. You got to start taking baby steps in this direction. And, you know, you and me, we're here to support that.
Right.
We're here to support you. Show up in the yoga class and work on it. And maybe one day you don't need the yoga class. One day maybe you can do it on your own. You know, this isn't about, you know, you needing us. Mm-hmm. This is about you using us to accomplish what you want.
Exactly. Awesome. I mean, that's just such brilliant wisdom, Brian, and so well put. You just have such a spectacular way and gift of putting things into ways, layman terms, for us to really understand it, you know, because we kind of get lost in the esoteric study of yoga, right? Sometimes the narrative of yoga is very esoteric, but that's just brilliant.
It's bullshit. It's not esoteric. It's like the Bible, you know, but they make it so fucking complicated. Jesus gave the greatest example of yoga in recorded history. The nails are going into his hands, and he says, do not judge them. And then all the Catholics and Christians, they walk around every day judging fucking everything.
Oh my God, don't
right?
they?
And not just the Catholics and Christians. I'm not picking on just them, the Jews, the Muslims, the Sikhs, the Sunnis, you name it. I mean, you know, because Jesus gave the example, but yoga gives the path.
Right.
The goal of yoga is Jesus' teaching.
Exactly.
If you go to India, you understand in India, they consider Jesus to be the prince among all of yogis.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you stop judging? Well, you have to recognize when you're doing it, and you have to pull your mind away. That takes enlightenment or awareness. So, but, you know, I mean, you know, Jesus said, do not judge. He said some other beautiful things, but, you know, look how convoluted they made all Jesus' teaching. Now there's a book called the Bible, and it's this thick.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And they did the same thing with yoga. It's so simple. It's not easy, but it's simple to understand. But they've made yoga so complicated. They've made it so esoteric. Yeah. You know, they've made it so hard to grasp, but it's not. It's simple. That's what us humans do. We pollute shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We polluted Catholicism. We polluted yoga. You know, we pollute all this stuff because we bring our fears into it all. When we bring our ignorance in and we turn it into something that, like I said in the beginning, all of us Americans were really attracted to Ashtanga yoga, you know, because it fit our mind state. It didn't free us from our mind state, it fit it. So, right. You know, most of us are doing this with yoga. Like we're trying to make it conform to our mind state instead of allowing it to free us from our mind state.
Exactly. And like, what would to a brand new person to yoga, what would you, what's the most important thing you tell them to focus on?
The most important thing for a person to know when they come to yoga initially is that this was not created to change you, because there's nothing fucking wrong with you. This is not about making you flexible or making you strong or making you skinny or making you pretty or making you stay young, right? This is not meant to change you, because there's nothing wrong with you. As soon as you try to change yourself, you're actually strengthening what's hurting you the most. Some idea that you're ugly, wrong, and broken in the first place. This is not meant to change you. This is meant to take care of you. And the only way in the world you can ever take care of anything is to touch it gently.
Mm.
And the problem is if you touch yourself gently, you're not going to be able to get yourself into that Lululemon outfit 2 sizes too small.
Right.
Which means you're going to have to be more dominated by your wisdom than your vanity. And we're here to support that.
Right.
Okay, you never in your life have ever seen how you can take care of anything other than to touch it gently. So why wouldn't you do that to yourself?
Yeah. And do you teach that to your children? How, like Mateo, he's obviously walking in your shoes. I love to see that. And how is it for the kids, being a father of 4 or 5, is it?
Well, according to my kids, I could use a lot of improvement. I mean, it's really weird, but it's strange, but it's, the kids will find an issue. But I teach my kids all this stuff, but I don't teach them by talking.
No, just doing it.
I just live, I live my life the way I feel is most optimal, and hopefully they'll pick up on that.
Yeah.
They've never experienced physical violence from me. I've never touched them in any other way other than being gentle. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that I'm not firm, because I need to be firm sometimes, but firmness doesn't bar gentleness. Mm-hmm. There's never ever been a touch that's been aggressive. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully they'll learn, and hopefully they'll pass it on in their own way. And, Mateo's embracing things even more now, because he's actually starting to literally practice.
I see.
Let alone to be influenced by me. Now he can actually influence himself.
Right. And that's by his own choice. Obviously, you can't make your kids do anything.
I never wanted, their whole life, I've never told them they need to do yoga. I've asked them to join me, and most of the time they turn me down. And, at one point at 11 years old, Mateo, now he's 15, but 11, he was basically said, I want to do yoga too.
Right.
And I was pleasantly surprised.
So nice. Well done on that, So when do you think you're going to travel? Any idea? I mean, is that just probably not the greatest question? All those workshops. I mean, you traveled so much last year. How many countries were you in last year?
I don't remember. I usually teach between 60 and 90 cities a year.
Whoa. You must miss that, though, on some
And it's usually, on 6 of the 7 continents. But I don't miss it at all. I'm so happy to be home. You can't believe it. Like right now, I would be in Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm so happy I'm not there.
Isn't that great?
Boston's a great city, and those people who come to my class at this amazing yoga center, it's the greatest yoga center in the world, I believe. It's called Kripalu.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
I know it, yeah.
But I'm happy I'm home. I'm happy I'm with my family. I'm happy I didn't have to get on an airplane.
Exactly. I mean, air travel will be changed from here on out for a while anyway. So, and just on another question on aging and yoga. Have you had any particular experience as you've gotten older? Not that you're old at all. You're younger than me. What's your personal? I don't know. I think we're the same age. But No, you're
No, no, you must.
but any tips on that? Any experience, you know, what's been your experience on growing your yoga, you know, through the years? You know, obviously you're super fit. We've seen your handstands. You created the Brahma flow, my favorite. My favorite. Love that. But it's powerful. I mean, do you still, you know, what's that level that you would go to personally, you know? Or has it changed for you? And you're okay with the change?
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I mean, I don't think I could even go through that Brahma right now without taking 50 breaks. You know, it's, you know, I mean, things have changed. And that Brahma sequence was wonderful, you know, when I created it. And what I'm doing right now is wonderful. And what I'll be doing in 10 years is wonderful. But, you know, we all change. You know, we've been changing since the time we were born.
Right.
And, you know, whatever we do needs to fit wherever we happen to be.
Right.
So, you know, the only person that has a problem is the person that's attached to the way it was.
Right.
You know, those of you listening, you know, the yogis actually trace back to the root of all human suffering. And the root of all human suffering, every ounce of it, right, or every milligram of it, is coming from something called attachment. The more attached you are to anything, the more you suffer, because the law of the world is called impermanence or change, right? So, and unfortunately, our cultures, they don't teach us this, right? They teach us what beautiful looks like, and they teach us how we should be. And so, you know, when we don't fit that image, which is really impossible to fit or to at least hold on to, because things are always going to be changing, you know, then we get frustrated and we get critical and we get stressed out, and, you know, we start forcing things to fit that image that we're attached to instead of allowing things to be. And the aging process is this beautiful opportunity to start letting go.
Right.
You know, to start letting go. And you know, just because you're older doesn't mean you're less healthy. It just means that you can't do as much.
Right.
You know? I mean, so what? You know?
Shavasana is really nice.
I mean, when I was 25 years old, in order to get a good workout, I had to run around the track 25 times. Now, in order to get the same workout, I only have to run around the track twice. Right? And now, after that, I go shopping, and then I go to the restaurant and I meet my friends. I got so much more time in my day. The young ones are still fucking running around the track. I have so much more. And I get just as much out of those 2 times as the young ones get out of 25 times.
Isn't it great?
Right? So it's like, so what? I don't have to do as much to get to the same place, because all the benefits of exercise come from the challenge that the exercise presents. It doesn't come from the quantity of the action. Right. So the young ones have to do more to get the same challenge that I get doing less.
Right.
And I benefit as equally. So, you know, I look at it as a positive thing. And, you know, all of us are going to die. We're all going to have to do the big let go.
Right.
Right? And so why not start practicing letting go? That way, when you get there, it's no big deal, because you've been doing it your whole fucking life.
Love that.
And you realize that letting go never hurt you. It actually helped you, because now you have one less thing to worry about. So if you realize letting go is actually good, not bad, then maybe when you get to the end of your life, you won't be scared, because you've been letting go your whole life. You realize you.
Wow, I just love that. That's just brilliant wisdom. And it's true. We just practice releasing, letting go, and going with the change. We're so didn't turn up. But listen, I've had you for so long. I'm so blessed. We are so blessed. And I know you're busy, your family, but listen, Brian, thank you so, so much. And it's a good way to end talking about the letting go, ending up and
That's
practicing
cool.
that
That's cool.
ability that we can let go, because we're so attached to our stuff, as you say. So I'm just so grateful that my phone keeps my alarm going off there. Sorry. We hope that we will see you in our little island sometime soon, but everybody can get you anyway online. I did your online teacher training and it was amazing. Do you remember that? I was cold November Irish winter in this living room that I'm in, up at 4 in the morning, doing your online, and I just switched it on and I was there. I was there in your studio. It's just so awesome. Thank you for that. Life
I
it was the first one that you did, I remember. And it was amazing
Wow.
how it worked. And this is now we're in virtual world, but it works just as good. It's incredible that way. You know, that you still get the wisdom, you still get the experience, you still get the energy. I mean, I got that energy, 4 in the morning, freezing cold in Ireland, tuning into your online training, and it was just fantastic. So it's funny that you started that way back and now you're in it full on, and it's the way to go in the world. I'm amazed the way you can still get that vibration. And now I'm experiencing it with my yogis, because I'm teaching virtual and they're feeling it the same. And then the opportunities and the benefits of being able to do it in your home, it makes you do it every day, because you don't
Yeah.
have to go parking and cars and that kind of stuff, you know. But it's great that you're still so available to all of us, you know, online. And I tried to join your Zoom classes and they were full, but I know you changed it to crowd something, was it?
It's called
Crowd.
Crowdcast. Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
not full anymore. And you know, we put the details on Instagram and Facebook every week. People can tune in, and yeah, everybody's welcome. I just want you guys to know that it's my pleasure to be here with Teresa.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
You guys are lucky to have Teresa in your community. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. You already
Ah,
know it.
oh, you're so kind. Listen.
No, she's an amazing woman. She's an amazing being. I'm honored to be here.
Oh,
Um, in her community, in her network, and you know, sharing all this stuff that I'm sure is redundant because she probably shares it all with you guys daily. And I'm also available. You know, I'm Instagram, Facebook, you know, online streaming, whatever.
power
I'm
yoga
available.
classes.
And you know, if there is ever a situation where you need some perspective, you can always contact me. You know, you can message me on Instagram, Facebook, or what have you, or ask me through Teresa.
I love the way you're so available, Brian. I mean, it's always so admirable. There's something, you're so humble and you're so available and generous with your energy and yourself. And that's just so unique, really. And it's really your gift, you know, and thank you for that. Absolutely. Thank you for your generosity, your wisdom. I mean, you've just changed my life and many, 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 many people's lives. And thank you for that. And thank you for being so kind, so open, so truthful. Love your truth. It just, you know, booms right into your heart, the way you speak the truth. And it resonates with everybody, not just one set of people. You're so broad spectrum, you know, you really resonate because it's really good truth that we don't hear enough of, you know. We've been fed a lot of stuff that's the opposite, obviously, in our conditioned minds and worlds. So I just want to thank you for that. And thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. Maybe we'll do this again down the road.
You know what I just realized when talking to you and looking at myself, I just realized how bald I am. Wow.
Not at all. My friend Emma Stafford, who's there, she is there, and she's saying hi, Brian T. She went to you in 1990.
Oh, with the hair down to here.
Yeah. And she was in love with you, Brian. You're like, she's always going, oh my God, this guy, Brian, he's so good looking and all of this stuff. And then there's that YouTube video with the hair and you're walking around. We love it. Oh, it's just amazing.
Well, I definitely had to practice letting go.
Yeah. Well, no, you don't look bald at all. I think it might be the angle, but it looks pretty good to us, right, guys?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
I take it all as an opportunity to be less reactive and more accepting.
Exactly. Well, listen, you're looking great. You're looking great. You're gorgeous family, your gorgeous wife. And that's great that she's now managing you or something, is it? She's your manager. Your booker.
My assistant bailed on me, and my assistant left me hanging. And luckily, my wife, you know, she jumped in and said, "Hey, I'll take over for now." You know, she's actually, you know, she's a doctor. She's actually a doctor,
Wow.
and she has a career that she's really jonesing to get back to as soon as our child gets into kindergarten. She'll go back to her career.
Is that Romeo? Is it?
Yeah, we have a 3-year-old. I have a 3-year-old with her. I have 3 other kids with another wonderful woman. So
that's amazing that she jumped in there, you know. So that's great and good that the two of you working it out together. The powerhouse, Power Yoga, and the powerhouse.
Yeah, we're a good partnership. She definitely is gifted with things that I am not gifted with. So it does work out good. We're very much simpatico.
It sounds like a nice balance. The doctor, the scientific background, the medical, and you're the yogi. I love it. Makes complete sense. And listen, in the old tradition in India, wasn't the scientists and the spiritualists were one of the same?
Well, yoga is a science, you know.
Yeah. So listen, my darling, so good. Thank you so much for coming on here. And we will see you online. And guys, you got to tune into Brian's class. He's just endlessly inspiring, kind and generous and wise. A real true guru. I know you don't like that name, but you are. And we want to thank you. So hopefully we'll see you on this island somewhere down the line.
I look forward to it. It's a beautiful country you have, and the people are, you know, I travel all over the world. When I say people in Ireland are some of the nicest people, it's not, you know, it's not a frivolous comment, you know, or a figurative comment. It's literal. I traveled in, and believe it or not, you guys, you know, because I travel throughout Europe every year, and, you know, even when the Europeans find out I'm coming to Ireland, so many of them will always say, "Oh, we love Irish people." Like, you know, you guys are, I guess you're famous for just your kindness and, you know, the way you make people feel. So, yeah.
That's very kind. Thank you. Gurv Mila Mahagut. That's what we say here. Mwah. Thank you so much, Brian.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Till next time.
Thank you. Mwah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.